there, this is Jen, and thanks so much for joining me over on the Joy Claire Designs YouTube channel today. Today I am sharing a new release. Today is a new release for 6 new collections from Joy Claire Designs, and I will be working with the Mandala Love collection, but there are 5 others that are super awesome digital collections. So I will go ahead and leave the link to Joy Claire, and you can check out those images. There are also photopolymer stamps and lots of other awesome products in the shop. So I encourage you to head on over there and check those out. And so this is my first experience with digital stamps. I did buy a laser printer so that I would be able to watercolor, because that is my favorite medium. But I went ahead and I printed out several of the images that I was going to work with. So I showed the entire process for one card, and then the second card I show just the end process. And so these mandala stamps are so awesome. And the great thing about digitals is you can size them however you want. And so you can complete your whole layout on your card without even having to do anything other than move some graphics around on your computer. So for my first card, I'm going to be using my Tombow markers, and I have printed out 4 of the same image in the exact same size. And I will color each layer and then cut out each layer and then stack them one on top of the other with foam tape. So I am doing the middle portion right now, which I've colored with this really pretty blue color, and I am just taking a wet paintbrush and trying to wick a little bit of that color off to give it some highlight. And then I'm actually working on the 4th layer. So to make sure that none of the color is white when I stack these, I am coloring the 3rd layer with this kind of a peachy color, and then I'll go in and color the 4th layer, which is what I'm doing right now. And originally for the card I was going to include all 4 layers, and I didn't end up liking the 2nd layer that I did because it was blue on top of blue and there was no break in color. And so I ended up taking that layer out. So it's going to be the centerpiece, and then the one that I'm coloring right now, and then the last one, which I will color next. And I'm not really using water at all with these. I'm just putting the Tombow markers down their full strength of color. And then again for the 4th one, I did the outline of the 3rd layer first to make sure that anything that was stacked on top of it, you couldn't see any white space. And then I'm going to go ahead, and right now I am coloring that last layer. So I'll go ahead and color that and add a little bit more detail around the edge with the orange, though I do not keep that color. I really like the combination of the blue and then the lighter kind of peachy orange color, and so I do end up cutting that orange border off of that last layer. So I've cut them apart, and now I'm just going to go ahead and fussy cut all of these. And so the layer that I'm cutting right now is the base layer, so that will be the very bottom piece. And then the next layer will be stacked on top of that with foam tape in between. And these were really not difficult to fussy cut out. I did try actually and use my scan and cut. It did not work. And so I don't know why I thought it would work. I don't know enough about my scan and cut to really make it work. So I went ahead and fussy cut them out. And like I said, it wasn't difficult to fussy cut these out. And so this is the layer that I do not include in the final card, just because stacked on top of each layer, it was a little bit too much blue, and I wanted that break in color. I just thought visually it looked a little bit better. And so there I cut out the very center layer, which will be the top layer. And then I try and fit that in. If I had done it in another color, I probably would have left it, but I did not. So I'm going to add a little bit of detail around the edge of this base layer with my white paint pen. And then for my card base, I went ahead and I positioned it on my computer where I thought I wanted the sentiment to be. And so I am making 2 card bases, one with each of the sentiments that is included with this collection. and I wasn't really sure which one I was going to use originally. So this one says just wanted to say hello, and the other one says everything will be okay. And I decided to go ahead and use this one that says just wanted to say hello. And I'm going to do a little bit of ink smushing. So I've grabbed a scrap piece of plastic and scribbled one of my Tombow markers on that, and then spritzed that with my spray bottle. And I'm just going to take the card panel and turn that over into the ink. The card panel I'm using is a Michaels 110-pound cardstock. I am not using a lot of water, and so it does actually take the water very well. And after I do a little bit of ink smushing, I'm going to take a baby wipe and just mop up a little bit of that water. And I hate to leave color anywhere that's wasted, and so I always try and do something with it. So I just took a little bit of that color on my paintbrush and did some ink splatters onto that card base. And now I'm going to assemble the mandala. And so I'm just taking these foam dots, and I'll go ahead and adhere the third layer to the fourth. And I didn't want it to be exactly centered, so it is a little off-centered. They don't match up exactly. And then I'm going to take the center piece and add that foam dot directly to that middle layer. And then the last layer is that really pretty blue center piece. And then I'll go ahead and take some liquid glue and adhere that entire piece to my card base. And then to finish it off, I take a Nouveau jewel and put that in the center, and then a couple of extra jewels around the sentiment, and that will finish that card. I really love this collection. I really actually love all of the collections that are in this new release. I will be using some of the other collections throughout the month, but you can check them all out by visiting the website. And if you didn't catch that at the beginning, all of the information for that will be in my description below. So my second card, I love this, being able to create this just as one a single layer card. And I did not show the process for this because I had just got these Copic Chow markers and I was practicing with them, so I wasn't sure if it even was going to turn out. And so I really like how it turned out. I was kind of proud of myself. So I went ahead and included it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it or found it informative, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. Have you used digital images before? Are you convinced to start using them? Like I said, this is my first time using digital images, and I actually love it. I love so many things about it. And I'm super excited to get out there and just use a bunch of digital images. At any rate, as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your day to spend with me. And I will catch you later.